a lot of miscalculations were made during the campaigns. A lot of things were taken for granted, thinking that, yes, they will be able to afford 5,000, and now they are in power, and reality is on ground. So it's normal that they will have to readjust, but it's going to be a very, very costly adjustment, because Nigerians were waiting for these promises to be fulfilled. As I was trying to say earlier on, they would need to do a lot of talking to the people of Nigeria. It's not just going to go away like that.
One will wonder, is it because the issue of economy falls almost directly in the office of the vice president, who is the chairman of the economy council? Okay, all right. Let me go to Abuja now. One would think that, Mr. Nwosu, that as it stands now, it's a matter of integrity, isn't it? Because when you make a promise and you see that you cannot meet up that promise, what does it mean for the outlook of a government led by President Buhari, who is riding and coasting on the basis of integrity?
That was the only promise, selling point upon which the APC came to power. Fighting corruption and things like that. And that is why I am personally pained that in a polity like Nigeria, there should be vibrancy. Those in power, there should be a watchdog political party like, for instance, the PDP, looking at these loopholes, looking at these failures, looking at these question marks and raising them, and then keeping the government in power on their toes. So if you cannot do that you promised, give Nigerians a cogent and verifiable reason why you cannot do that. And then you say you're fighting corruption. We want to see the heavyweight corruption, cases in the court, in the public glare. Not matters of people who received monies for political activity and for which they performed. You take them to court, you put them in chains, and then their children are crying, and then you bring them to court, and the witnesses you call are such that they have gone ahead to prove that even the monies you're talking about were used for the purposes they were meant for. Is that what we are looking for? And then somebody is in a political party in the opposition, he receives vehicles on behalf of his political party, distributed those buses, you have arrested him, and the story is you're calling millions and millions. That is not what Nigerians are looking at. That is not the expectations of Nigerians. It is an anticlimax. That is what we are looking for. For instance, in the last 20 years, in the last 30 years, have the National Assembly been budgeting money for light? Have they been budgeting money for education? Have they been budgeting money for bridges? Have they been budgeting money for water? Do we have those things now? Go back to the budgets, bring those things out. Where was money budgeted? Was money released? Were contracts awarded? Were those things done? Were they not done?
Mr. Nwosu, just a moment. Let's get to hear from the presidency. This is a new development that we're tracking here on the program, and we're being joined by Mr. Laolu Akonde. He's a senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, who domiciles his work directly in the office of the vice president, who we understand is the chairman of the National Economic Council. Thank you so much, Mr. Akonde, for coming on the program. Slightly disappointing for some Nigerians, knowing that what the president said here in Qatar is different from what the party promised during the campaigns.
Thank you, Sheil. Let's just make this very clear. The president has already made allocation in this budget that is before the National Assembly to pay 5,000 naira monthly to 1 million Nigerians that are extremely poor and vulnerable. That has not changed. It is already provided for in the budget. That was what was promised, and it will be delivered. When the president spoke yesterday, over the weekend, he was reacting specifically to suggestions that 5,000 was going to be paid to unemployed graduates. That is not his plan. The president's plan is to hire 500,000 unemployed graduates. And that plan is going forward.
But Mr. Akonde, if you say the plan is going forward, but what we've heard from the president is much different from what you have just told us now. If you take a look at what he said, fine, that was in the plan, part of the 8th social welfare package that we understand that the government is putting forward. But the president is saying, rather than paying 5,000, he would rather put that money into infrastructure, building schools, and empower agriculture and the mining sector. Do you think, are you saying the president made a mistake in this statement?
Absolutely not. That's what I'm explaining to you. The president was reacting to suggestions about paying 5,000 to unemployed graduates. The plan that he has articulated for unemployed graduates is to hire 500,000 of them, train them, and deploy them as teachers while they look for their career jobs. That plan is going forward. Nobody promised to pay 5,000 to unemployed graduates. Government's plan is to get them to work. And so the 5,000 monthly is for the vulnerable and the extremely poor Nigerians, and that program is going forward. It is in the budget.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Akonde, for the clarity there. We will keep track on this particular matter to get what exactly going forward, what we can get out of it as the time the budget has been approved. But let me go to Mr. Dele Momodu, who's been talking to us on this very matter. It seems to be a very tricky one, isn't it? Because reality and promises are having a head-to-head clash here. And what do you think is the way out of this matter? All right, Mr. Momodu, if you get me clearly, my question is, just in a few seconds so that we can round up now, it looks so much that promises and realities are clashing this time around. For the president, who is going to be implementing his very first budget, how can he live up to expectation this time around?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Go ahead, please.
Yes, the network has been very bad. Yeah, like I was explaining, reality is always different from when you are in opposition. By the time you get into government, you suddenly realize that all the promises made are falling apart, and I think that is what is happening right now. But then the government people would have to coordinate themselves so that we will not continue with this staccato fashion of speaking.
All right.
The president said something.
All right. Let me. Thank you so much, Mr. Momodu. Let me quickly ask Mr. Nwosu to round up his thoughts on this matter. What do you think is the way out for this government? Promises and realities. Just in 30 seconds, please.
I thank God that Mr. Laolu Akonde has confirmed that there is something in the budget for the indigent Nigerians all over the 36 states of the Federation of Nigeria. We want that 5,000 distributed to indigent Nigerians as promised.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nwosu. That's how far we can go. Sorry, we have to leave it at that. Many thanks for talking to us, Mr. Dele Momodu and Mr. Ben Nwosu. That's the program today. On behalf of the team, I'm Sean Kimbaloe. Bye for now.